Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This is the world according to Lonza and I am your host, Andrew Lonza, and today is February 14th, 2024. So today is Valentine's Day, which means happy Valentine's Day to you and your loved one and your significant other. And if you're single, I hope you're having a good day as well because I'm single and I'm trying to make the best of my night or evening, even though I don't have somebody in particular to spend it with. And I know today's holiday can sometimes be a little bit mean or make you feel a little bit lonely if you're single, or if Valentine's Day sometimes can feel like it won't include you if you're single, but don't listen to that. That's a bunch of hooey. Um, just try to make the best day possible for yourself. So this is something that I thought would be a fun thing to do since I'm a movie fan. You're a movie fan, I'm assuming. That's why you're on my channel, The World According to Lonza. And I'm going to give you in a moment my top 10 uh, best, my top 10 favorite romantic movies, or movies that have romance in them. I'm going to give them a list with two honorable mentions, so it's technically 12, my top 12 films. It is top 12, but I'm just going to say top 10 because you can say 12 and 11 are honorable mentions of my favorite romantic films throughout time. And I just want to say, hey, here's a quick analysis. Romance in movies is more common than you think. There's romance in science fiction. There's romance in action movies. There's romance when historical pieces when you don't think there should be romance. There's romance, and I'm not. I used to be like, that's too much romance. There's romance in more movies. There's romance in DC films. Pretty much, there's romance everywhere, and if it's a good love story, I'm always have a heart for that. I like Kylo Ren and Rey and all that weird stuff. So even when you feel like there shouldn't be romance, there's romance. I like romance. Whatever, it's good. So here, without further ado, I'm going to give you my top 12, um, top 12, top 10, top whatever, my favorite romantic movies of all time, with 12. Most lists are top 10, but I'm going to give you 12. All right, starting off with a little bit of controversy. Not controversy, controversy now. I think most people like this movie. I like this movie. I see its flaws in the films. I discussed it before in my other videos. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. This is considered one of the best movies of all time. Winner of 12 Academy Awards for the time. That's a lot. I'm estimating that number of awards. Vivian Lee, Clark Gabriel, good music, southern film. Gone with the Wind at number 12. Why? Because for one, the score by Max Steiner is excellent. You have probably heard the score more than once. Why it's so low is that there are some things in this movie that might not go well with today's audiences. It seems like it might be a pro Southern film, and her romance. She's like fake. Anyways, she's fascinated with Ashley, and Rule Butler, her husband, kind of isn't too enforcing at times. It's supposed to be one of the best romantic couples of all time. Clark Gable and Vivian Lee. But it's a good story. I think they really do love each other, but they just this Clark Gabriel. It just it turns out that they you know, let's just say it's a harsh romance. It's they're just too uh they're too both of them are in themselves. It's like two narcissistic people dating each other and falling in love, and I think they really do like each other. But the main reason I picked Gone with the Wind because the musical score, and it is a long film and bit dated from 1939, and that's my first honorable mention. That's number 12, which some people will have all the way off the top, but I don't. Number 11 is a way more 11 number 11 most romantic film, Benjamin the Curious Case of Benjamin Button, based on a Scott Fitzgerald short story, starring and directed by David Fincher. You guys should look him up. Director of Fight Club and stuff. And Manic is one of his latest films, and The Killer is one of his latest films. Kate Blanchett, and it's a time travel period when man gets older or he gets younger as he ages. Kind of a fantasy story, a movie that I think a lot of you seen. Was nominated for Best Picture in 2008, and didn't win the award that year, but I definitely think this is my favorite. This is number 11. Number 11 for my honorable mention is Benjamin Button. Number 10, y'all. Number 10. Number 10 is considered to be, for many people, the best movie of all time. It's filmed at the backlot of Warner Brothers Studios, uh, Long Beach, where the Spruce Goose was. A lot of the movie locations are no longer in existence. Did win Best Picture of 1942, or won it in 1943. Came out in 1942, won it in 1943. And the only reason they have it this low is that it's romantic, but it has a little bit of film noir in it, some crime in it. Some of the story has crime element, James Bondness into it, but the lines of this movie, we always have Paris. I just gave it away for you, and play it again, Sam. Or play it, Sam. Play it again, Sam. I don't even think that there's a miscommunication of what the line really is, but the as time goes on is one of the best romantic songs of all time. La da 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 dum, la da da dum da dum, da dum da dum da dum 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 dum. As time goes by, you have these characters that meet in Paris. Paris is one of the most romantic cities, or supposed to be one of the most romantic cities of all time. During World War II, during Nazi occupied France. Um, it's Casablanca. I think you know. Number 10 is Casablanca. And I would totally recommend just watching it. I didn't put it number one because there are crime elements, and some people don't consider this movie a 100% romantic film because it's really not a 100% because there are some other elements to it. It's kind of has a little bit of film noir, but it's more of a romantic epic piece. But there are crime elements to it. So, and film noir it's kind of sometimes gets mixed in that kind of dark the way it was filmed. But that's number 10. So number 9, I'm watching it on my TV right now. From 1925, number 9. Number 9 is called a movie called The Big Parade, and it's World War One, and it's pretty much a Hemingway story, but it's not a Hemingway story. It came out 1 year before The Sun Also Rises, which is about World War One, filmed in Los Angeles. American boy meets a French girl. The background's World War One, lots of war, lots of bad stuff in it, but or war elements in it, but romantic. Um, it's I think it's one of the best romantic films because there's a scene of her dragging or doesn't want her new lover to go into war, and she wants to stay with him, but he has to. Check it out, black and white, silent film, beautiful. Number 8, the first best picture, same kind of story. I'll go through this one real fast. This one, I'm just gonna recommend this one. Won't give it too many details, but this one did win best picture, the first best picture of 1927, and it's a good romantic movie to watch. Number seven. This movie was a Broadway musical, one the most successful Broadway musical. It stars an actress from Shameless, or the movie version stars an actress from Shameless. The one of the other famous versions is one of the first Gothic horror films starring Lon Chaney. If you watch that one and you watch this one, same story but no music. And if you like the music from nighttime, from Music of the Night, you're gonna what I'm talking about. One of my first loves of theater was because of this film. It's called Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera, very good, self-explanatory. So that's number 7. Uh, yeah, maybe not the best movie in the world because it is. This is the movie is a direct copy from the play. So if you like the play or the musical, you like Phantom of the Opera. I'm going trying to go a little bit faster. Number six, y'all. Um, this is a our first Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and it's based on a book. I have a lot of 1920 Roaring Twenties seems to be a big thing because I have two movies that came out in the 20s. This movie is based in the 20s. It's called The Great Gatsby, and this is the new version. Some people think this one. My dad was like, this movie is too glamour, too out over the top. Some people thought this version was more over the top than like the 1973 or 1974 version with Robert Redford. But I like the fireworks. This is from the director of Elvis, um, Baz Luhrmann. He's a very colorful director. You all seen the memes of Leo DiCaprio with the champagne, but this story is kind of heartbreaking because this is, read the book. If, look, this is a movie that almost, I don't need to tell too much because I bet you every single high school student, or the majority of high school teachers or teachers have probably recommended or made students read this book. So Leonardo DiCaprio and what's her name? Kara Merrigan, Tobey Maguire. Yeah, lots of people. Was a popular movie in 2015, and I recommend it. And it's good to watch. Drink some Moet champagne when you watch that. Number five. Number five is A Beautiful Mind. I like this movie because the soundtrack is wonderful, and people think this is not really a romantic film. It doesn't come off as the romantic film, but it stars a person who has schizophrenia, schizophrenic. Um, but it's just about um, what's his name? Nash. Professor Nash um, is Russell Crowe's character's disease would ruin a relationship easily. And the wife just stood by him through thick and thin. That's why it's one of my favorite romantic films. Plus, the music is really good. So that's not number five. That's not number five. At number four, this is getting science fiction, and people think this is weird. This is a guy with a cell phone, but this is somebody. What happens if you get a little lonely? What happens if you get like if you just break up from a marriage, or you're not you disconnected with humanity, or and you're wanting just to feel something, even if that's AI, artificial intelligence. Um, and a side note, this movie is starring Joaquin Phoenix and Rooney Mara, Amy Adams, Olive Wilde, and Scarlett Johansson, and directed by Spike Lee. It was nominated for Best Picture in 2013, the same year that Great Gatsby came out. And that is her. Good soundtrack, a little melancholy. This is a little bit of an emo because Joaquin Phoenix he's a little mopey. He's a little bit like depressed. You can see that he's just kind of down in the dumps. He's not really feeling like he's trying to be happy, but having that fake smile. But he falls in love with a computer, and I think this is one of my favorite films because it's so unique and it's so bizarre, but it's touching. I liked it. If you could get over the bizarreness and get over the weirdness, it might be too weird for some people, but I would definitely recommend her. And this is one of the most artistic films that's a romance that I have ever seen. All right, number three. Number three. Speaking of Oscars, some people like it, some people don't. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm not even gonna say too much about it. It has a musical and just dancing in the streets, literally dancing in the highway. La La Land, Emma Stone. I just look at this. Um, Look, yellow dress, passionate hug, takes a place in the year, has a good ending. Should probably won Best Picture, but of course it had that controversy. Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, good movie, in my opinion. Okay, number two, number two. We're getting close to number one, number one, number one. Number two is The Shape of Water. She just is about loving who you love, no matter what it is. It has a really good emotional story to it. I won't tell you too much about this. This is a good film. So this is number two. If you haven't seen it, it won Best Picture of 1917. I just recommend it just because I liked it, and if you don't like it, it's fine. But I think you should give it a shot. Our number one is self-explanatory. Number one, best romantic film to watch on Valentine's Day. 99% of people, or almost 100% of people, have seen this movie, know about this movie in and out. Number one movie is Titanic. Self-explanatory. I'm worrying out of things to say. That only thing I can say is that Rose should let Leo on the raft, even though that was debunked. Some people thought he couldn't survive, or they both couldn't survive. Yo, when this first movie came out, people thought, oh man, we should just focus on the historical parts, and we should just focus on the. And I was a hater. Look. Most people, most men, most teenage boys, most people were a hater of this movie. But this movie grew on me after a while. It's just, I mean, there's cheesy moments with like, I'm king of the world, that's a little over the top. But just like the artistic, uh, poor, smoking, uh, upper class, high class, has more stuff to say about society, about than it's a classic Oliver Twist kind of like, I don't know, poor dude meets rich girl, and rich girl likes, you know, you like the My Chemical Romance guys, you like the Edward from Twilight. He's not goth or anything, but the over the in top emotional, hey, passion for life dudes. Except Leo did try to he did well he did try to well they were she was engaged, and he said, whatever. But the whole movie, you can say the metaphor of sinking love. There's lots of history in it too. History that the story of Titanic is told, and what's remember one thing, cool thing about Titanic. It's directed by James Cameron. What did he direct first? Well, Terminator 1, right? Aliens, right? The Abyss, Terminator 2. He wrote Rambo, Part Blood 2. He didn't write the first one, but he wrote the screenplay for Rambo. And True Lies. Those are called action packed. Those are called. Whoa. Sorry, those are called technical difficulties here. Those are called action packed movies. And James Cameron was daring to go into a genre that no, people probably didn't think. Romeo and Juliet. He said it's Romeo and Juliet on a boat. What a stupid idea. Wrong. That's what he was told. He was going to waste all his money. Titanic was one of those films that, besides Cleopatra from 1963, Titanic was a film that almost bankrupted 20th Century Fox. And that year, it won the most Oscars in history. It was the highest broadcast Oscar rating show ever. We still haven't seen those in 1997 or 1998. The year will be 1998. Um, People still ask Leo about it. People still ask Kate Winslet about it. It brought Celine Dion on the map. I won money off the Titanic slot machine in Vegas or Prim, and the slot machine's cool. And it's 1912. There's so many. There's early 50. There's a lot of. There's actually some. There's quite a few stories about the Titanic. It's mentioned in another movie called well, there's a few movies. Uh, Remember the Night from 1953. There's a good chunk of handful of movies that nobody really remembers anymore that are still based on the Titanic. So, without further ado, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope you enjoy my list. That was my list. This is my new video. I'm Andrew Lonza. This is the world of Courtney Lonza, and I will talk to y'all later. Good night. Happy Valentine's Day 2024.